Antarctica is not just the coldest place on Earth. It is a vast, silent continent where time feels suspended, a frozen world untouched by borders, cities, or nations, ruled only by ice, wind, and darkness. Here, temperatures can fall lower than anywhere else on the planet. Winds scream across the ice at hurricane speeds, and for months at a time, the sun never rises or never sets. Antarctica is larger than Europe, yet it has no permanent population, no cities, no roads, no history carved by human hands. Everything here is shaped by forces far older than humanity. Ice that has been forming for millions of years. Glaciers so heavy they bend the earth beneath them. Beneath this frozen surface lies a hidden world. Layers of ice that preserve Earth's climate history, trapping ancient air, ancient storms, and secrets from a time long before humans existed. At the edges of the continent, Antarctica meets the Southern Ocean, where towering ice shelves break apart and drift silently into the sea. These icebergs are not lifeless. They carry fresh water locked away for thousands of years, slowly melting, reshaping oceans far beyond Antarctica itself. Life survives here against all odds, not on the land, but in the surrounding waters where the cold becomes a shield. Antarctica may appear empty, but it plays a vital role in Earth's balance. It regulates global temperatures, drives ocean currents, and influences weather across the entire planet. This is not a place meant to be conquered. It is a place meant to be understood, a reminder that Earth still holds realms beyond human control. Antarctica is the coldest, driest, and windiest continent on Earth. A land so extreme that almost nothing survives without adapting to its rules. Here, ice is not just a surface, it is the foundation of everything. For millions of years, snow has fallen, layer upon layer, compressing into ice sheets several kilometers thick. This frozen mass holds nearly 70% of the planet's fresh water, locked away in silence. From above, the continent feels unreal, an endless white expanse stretching beyond the curve of the horizon. No borders, no roads, no cities, only wind, ice, and time. Antarctica is not a land meant to be conquered. It is a continent that exists on its own terms, ruled by ice, wind, and silence. Here, ice is not static. It moves, fractures, and flows like a frozen ocean under constant pressure. Beneath this ice lies a hidden world. Mountains, valleys, and rivers buried under kilometers of frozen history. Some of this ice has not melted for over 1 million years. It preserves the atmosphere of ancient Earth, locked in time. The wind here never truly rests. It sculpts the ice into sharp ridges and endless waves. Storms can rise without warning. Whiteout conditions erase the horizon, the sky, and the ground. In this environment, sound disappears. The silence is so complete, it feels heavy. And yet, life still finds a way to exist at the edges of this frozen world. Antarctica is not just flat ice. Beneath the endless white lies a continent of mountains, valleys, and landscapes older than memory itself. Hidden below kilometers of ice are mountain ranges as vast as the Alps, frozen in silence for millions of years. Some of these mountains have never been touched by human hands, sealed beneath ice long before civilization existed. Antarctica holds 90% of Earth's ice and nearly 70% of its fresh water. If all this ice were to melt, global sea levels would rise by more than 50 meters, reshaping every coastline on the planet. But Antarctica is not lifeless. Along its edges, where ice meets ocean, life explodes in unexpected abundance. Krill swarm beneath the ice in numbers so vast they support whales, seals, and penguins across the entire Southern Ocean. Penguin colonies gather on the ice like moving constellations, perfectly adapted to a world of cold and wind. Above them, the sky feels endless, and storms can form without warning, turning calm silence into chaos within minutes. Antarctica is a place where nature operates without compromise, indifferent to comfort, time, or survival. Antarctica is not a continent you conquer. It is a place that decides whether you are allowed to stay. Here, nature is absolute. Wind speeds can exceed 100 kilometers per hour. Temperatures can drop below minus 60 degrees, and the landscape offers no shelter, no forgiveness. Everything that survives here does so on nature's terms alone. There are no cities here, no permanent settlements, only research stations, fragile outposts of humanity clinging to the edge of survival. Metal structures buried in snow, designed not for comfort, but endurance. Every wall, every bolt exists for one reason: to resist the cold. Beyond these stations, Antarctica remains untouched. Ice sheets stretch for thousands of kilometers, holding nearly 70% of the world's fresh water frozen in time. Beneath this ice lies a hidden landscape: mountains, valleys, and lakes sealed away for millions of years. Along the edges of the continent, the ice begins to break. Glaciers flow slowly toward the ocean, collapsing into towering icebergs. When they fall, the sound echoes like thunder, a reminder that this frozen world is constantly in motion. The Southern Ocean surrounding Antarctica is just as unforgiving. Waves crash against ice walls and storms form without warning. Yet life thrives here, adapted, resilient, and perfectly tuned to extremes. Antarctica does not belong to any nation. It is governed by treaties, protected by distance, and respected by those who reach it. It stands as the last great wilderness on Earth, a reminder of what the planet once was and what it still can be if left untouched. Antarctica is not silent because it is empty. It is silent because it is ancient. This ice remembers a world long before humans existed. Layer by layer, snowfall has compressed into a frozen archive, trapping air from forgotten eras. Every bubble holds a snapshot of Earth's past: climates, atmospheres, extinctions. Beneath this frozen shell lies a hidden continent. Mountain ranges taller than the Alps, valleys deeper than the Grand Canyon, lakes sealed beneath kilometers of ice, untouched for millions of years. The ice above moves slowly, relentlessly, like a living thing. It flows toward the ocean, grinding stone into dust, shaping the land without sound. What looks eternal is, in truth, always in motion. Here, time does not pass in days or years. It passes in ice ages. Antarctica is not silent because it is empty. It is silent because nothing here moves without consequence. Ice shifts, glaciers breathe, and the land itself is slowly in motion. What looks frozen in time is, in reality, endlessly alive. Beneath this ice lies a hidden world. Mountains taller than the Alps, valleys deeper than the Grand Canyon, all buried under kilometers of ancient ice, unseen, untouched, and older than human memory. Antarctica holds nearly 70% of the planet's fresh water. If this ice were to vanish, coastlines across the world would be rewritten. Here, the future of distant cities is quietly decided in slow motion. There are no borders here, no nations, only wind, ice, and time. Antarctica belongs to no one, yet it influences everyone. Antarctica is a continent ruled by silence. Not the peaceful kind, but a silence so vast it feels heavy, almost alive. Here the wind does not simply pass through the land, it sculpts it. Ice flows like frozen rivers, stretching endlessly toward the horizon. This is the coldest, driest, and most isolated place on Earth. A land without nations, without cities, without permanent human presence. Yet beneath its ice lies history written in snow and pressure, layer upon layer, untouched for millions of years. From above, Antarctica looks unreal, a white world where scale becomes meaningless. Mountains disappear beneath glaciers, cracks in the ice become highways for drifting shadows, and the ocean at its edge never truly rests, endlessly grinding ice into water. Antarctica is not silent because nothing happens here. It is silent because everything moves slowly. Ice flows like a frozen river, advancing centimeter by centimeter, shaping the planet beneath it. Beneath this endless white surface lies a hidden world. Mountain ranges taller than the Alps, lakes sealed under kilometers of ice, and ancient air trapped in frozen layers, preserving the history of Earth itself. This ice remembers climates long gone. It holds records of warming, cooling, collapse, and rebirth. What happens here does not stay here. Antarctica controls ocean currents, sea levels, and the balance of life far beyond its shores. When the ice shifts, the world responds. Antarctica is not a frozen desert of silence. Beneath its endless ice sheets, the continent is alive with movement, pressure, and time. Ice flows like a slow river, cracking, folding, and reshaping the land beneath it. A reminder that even the coldest place on Earth is never truly still. Here, ice is not just frozen water, it is memory. Layer upon layer of snowfall compressed over hundreds of thousands of years, trapping ancient air inside. Every glacier is an archive of Earth's past, holding stories of climates long gone. At the edges of the continent, Antarctica meets the sea. Ice cliffs rise like frozen fortresses, breaking apart without warning. When they collapse, the sound echoes across the water, a thunderous reminder of a changing planet. Despite the extremes, life survives here. Penguins gather by the thousands, standing against the wind. Seals rest on drifting ice, while beneath the surface, entire ecosystems move unseen, feeding, migrating, enduring. Antarctica does not welcome visitors. There are no cities, no roads, no permanent human settlements, only research stations, fragile outposts clinging to the ice, proof of how small humanity truly is in the face of this continent. Antarctica is not a continent that welcomes visitors. It does not invite. It does not soften itself for those who arrive. This is a land ruled by wind, ice, and silence. A place where nature exists on a scale so vast, human presence feels temporary, almost accidental. Here, survival is not a guarantee, it is an exception. At the heart of Antarctica lies ice older than human history. Layer upon layer, compressed by time, recording ancient atmospheres trapped inside frozen bubbles. Each meter downward is a journey backward, through forgotten climates, vanished forests, and worlds that no longer exist. Antarctica remembers everything. The wind here does not simply blow, it sculpts. Katabatic winds race down from the interior plateau, accelerating as they fall, reaching speeds powerful enough to strip ice bare. They erase footprints, they rewrite landscapes, and they remind everything living here who is in control. Despite its hostility, Antarctica is not lifeless. Along its coast, the frozen continent loosens its grip. Sea ice fractures, open water breathes, and life returns, suddenly, explosively. This narrow boundary between ice and ocean is one of the richest ecosystems on Earth. Below the surface, the Southern Ocean pulses with energy. Cold, nutrient-rich waters rise from the depths, fueling blooms of microscopic life. Krill gather in unimaginable numbers, small creatures that sustain giants, from the smallest plankton to the largest animals ever to exist. Whales arrive with the changing light. Drawn by instinct older than memory, they cross entire oceans to reach these feeding grounds. Here they grow. Here they replenish. Here the ocean gives enough to sustain beings of impossible size. Antarctica is not empty, it is essential. On land, life clings to narrow windows of opportunity. Penguin colonies gather where rock breaks through ice, using exposed ground to raise their young. For a few brief months, the sun does not set, and the race against time begins. In winter, the continent closes again. Darkness returns, temperatures fall beyond imagination. Antarctica expands, doubling in size as sea ice spreads outward, locking the Southern Ocean in silence. It becomes a world almost no human has ever seen. The ice here is ancient. Some of it has existed for hundreds of thousands of years, locking away air from another world. Each layer is a memory, a frozen archive of Earth's climate, preserved beneath the surface. Antarctica holds nearly 70% of the planet's fresh water. If all of this ice were to melt, coastlines across the world would be rewritten. Here, the future of distant cities sleeps beneath frozen silence. Despite its hostility, life finds a way here. Beneath the ice, the Southern Ocean pulses with movement. Plankton blooms, fish, and giants of the sea. Antarctica is not empty. It is selective. Penguins march across the ice with purpose. Seals rest where land and sea collide. Every movement here is measured, conserving energy in a world where survival is never guaranteed.
A vast expanse of ice and water, where the resilient seals find refuge and hunt.
The wind defines Antarctica. It sculpts the ice, erases tracks, and reshapes the land overnight. Nothing here stays still for long, not even the frozen ground. Human presence in Antarctica is temporary by design. Research stations stand isolated, small against the immensity of ice. Here, humanity observes, never conquers. Antarctica does not belong to any nation. It belongs to the planet itself, a reminder of balance, fragility, and time beyond human reach. From above, it is not just ice, it is Earth, exposed.
As we rise above the world, we are reminded of the endless beauty that surrounds us.